Hi, I'm Trevor Conquergood from Sunset Stitches. I'm super excited to tell you today about something new that I've started called Digitizer Live. And that's going to be an online class where you can join me and watch me digitize live over the internet from the comfort of your own home. I'm planning on sharing tips and tricks about how to use your embroidery software. I'm going to have special invited guests that I can interview and ask questions, and they can share things with us as well. And I'm going to be taking questions from people like you. And so if you'd like to ask me a question that I could answer in the class, please send me an email so that I can prepare for answer that question. And so send your email to trevor@sunsetstitches.com. So what I'm going to do is show you now how you can find out more about these online classes, how you can go ahead and register for them, and when the time comes, how you'll go ahead and join the class. So I really hope that you enjoy these online classes. I look forward to getting email from you with your questions or your comments or your feedback as to how well it turned out for you or if you had any troubles joining the classes. So please join me for some free online classes, and I hope to see you soon. To learn more about the online classes that I'm offering, you'll need to visit my website called sunsetstitches.com. And this is the homepage at Sunset Stitches, and from here, what you're going to want to look for is a link that says Digitizer Live. There's an option on the top menu or over here on the left-hand menu, so I'll go ahead and select Digitizer Live. And this will bring you to a page where you can learn about the different online classes that I prepared. I have one for Janome Digitizer software. I also have one that I'm working on for just embroidery in general, and here you can also find out exactly what the class schedule is. So I'll just go ahead and select class schedule, and this brings me to a page which just shows all of the classes that are currently scheduled. And so what we can see here is that there's a class called Digitizer 101-1A. That's the first class in this series, and it's a free class. It'll be held on Tuesday, May 25th. And it starts in my Saskatoon local time at 1 p.m. So you'll need to convert that for yourself if you're in Central Time, or for example in Eastern Time Zone. For Toronto or New York, it's at 3 p.m. Over in Europe, Oslo, London, it starts at 9 p.m. And if you're in Australia, it starts at 6 a.m. in the morning. So that gives you an idea of how to convert it to your time zone, but what you'll need to do is go ahead and choose this link here to register for the class. And that opens up a new web page, and in this web page here, you'll be able to actually go ahead and register for the class, also known as a webinar, which is an online class. So what I'll do is just take a moment and fill out the form. Now, the things that are required are the ones that have a little red star beside them. So your first name, your last name, and your email address, and the other options are just things like the city and the country that you live in, and they're interesting to me, but they're not required, so I'll leave that up to you to decide. So I'll just take a moment and fill out my form. So once you're happy with the information that you've provided, then you just go ahead and choose the button that says Register Now. And it brings you to a web page that tells you thank you for registering and lets you know that your registration is complete. And you'll also receive a copy of this by email that you can keep in your inbox, so there's no need to worry about saving this page or anything. But it will tell you a little bit of information, I guess, just to reconfirm the time that the webinar takes place, and a link if you wanted to add this to your Outlook calendar. And there's actually a link here to join the webinar when it actually takes place. It tells you some of the basic system requirements about the, what kind of computer you need, and basically you'll need to have some speakers or some headphones to listen to me with. And so anyway, that basic information is there, and you'll receive a copy of it by email as well. And when the time comes to join the webinar, then you're going to visit that email and join the webinar. So why don't I go ahead now and just locate my email and show you how to join the webinar. So this is the email that I received after I registered for the webinar, and what you'll see here is that there's a button to join the webinar, and there's also a link that you can use to join the webinar. So when the time comes that it's appropriate for you to join the webinar, and I suggest that you join 15 minutes ahead of time, just to give yourself time to make the connection to that online class, and so that you're ready to go when we start the webinar. And so that's what you would do, is you would receive this email, and then you'll just simply choose Join Webinar with this button here. So I'll go ahead and try and join that webinar. After you select the link in your email to join the online webinar, what happens is your browser is going to open up and it's going to bring you to the website for GoToWebinar, and it should automatically connect to the meeting, but if it doesn't automatically connect, it may tell you that you need to manually click on the button that says Launch Software to start that meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that button. And what happens now is the program's actually starting a Java application that it needs to run this meeting, and in your case you may be asked to allow that or grant permission to that program to run, and if so then you should go ahead and say yes. And so now what's happening is it's actually connecting to the online meeting, and once you see this you'll know that you've connected. And that's great. That's really what you're hoping to see, is that once you've connected to the webinar, you'll be able to see sort of the virtual waiting room, which is what is shown here. And once I start the broadcast, then you'll switch over to watching my desktop and hearing my voice speaking live. And the other thing that you find here, it's hidden at the moment. This little orange arrow will allow me to show or hide the control panel, and as an attendee, there's not a lot of options in the control panel, but this is where you can choose, for example, your audio mode, whether you're going to use your computer speakers, or if you want to, you can actually select to use a telephone to phone in and listen to this menu or this class, but probably most people are going to be better off to use their speakers. And so anyway, that's exactly how it works. You're going to register for the class, and then you're going to receive an email, and then that email is going to give you the link to join the class. And so I hope that everybody has a easy time making it into my online classes. If you have any troubles, then I hope you'll send me an email and let me know what happened, and I can help you figure it out for future classes. And if you would like to ask a question that I could perhaps talk about in one of the online classes, then go ahead and just send me an email at trevor@sunsetstitches.com. Anyway, I hope you really enjoy the online classes, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.